Hey guys, today in this video I'm going to give you 8 reasons why I sold my DJM-900 Nexus 2 and got myself an XDJ-AZ. So, number 1 on the list. 3-band EQ on the master out. This is great. I love it. Makes my system at home sound that much better. I like the fact the Q button's up there where the master is, so no confusion. And if you're going to DJ out anywhere, you know, and you're hooking up to other speaker systems and such, this is great to fine-tune things. Love it. Reason number 2, we got the record out on a second USB. The recordings sound fantastic on this. It's probably some of the best recordings I've ever done with, like on a standalone, number 1, but recording in Serato never sounded great. Recording with Audacity externally never sounded great. The Roland, it sounded okay. This really sounds nice. I love it. And you got like a track marker, so you can actually mark the track, so when you look at it afterwards, and if you want to do any editing, you can see where you did your transitions. So that's number 2. Number 3, the microphones. I use the mic a lot on this. We're doing live streams and such. Speakers are pointing at me, so this feedback reducer is really, really handy to have. So anyone doing events, that feedback reducer is a must-have. That's number 3. Number 4, the screen. I know you're going to say it's not a CDJ-3000 screen or the RX3 screen, but you know what? It's good enough for me. The main thing that I don't like really having to look at 2 separate screens to do anything, because I wear progressive glasses. I always have to look for that sweet spot in my glasses, and literally looking back from one deck to the next deck back and forth can be a little bit tedious. It's a little bit much for me, but that's a personal preference of mine. One reason why DJ with a computer is so nice, because you got one big screen, everything's there. And you know what? It's not the biggest screen in the world, but anyone who's ever used a CDJ Nexus 2 will be completely familiar with it. I thought jumping from a CDJ-3000 down to this screen that I'd be feeling like I was really missing out on something, but I really don't. Screen's super responsive. It does what it needs to do. You know what I mean? Like, this system has such a good workflow. I love it. So that is where are we at? Well, that was number 4. Number 5. Auxiliary line input. Now all of a sudden my 4-channel mixer becomes a 5-channel mixer, which means if I'm running my sampler with this unit, the DJS-1000, I don't need to tie up channel 3 or channel 4 with it. I can run it right through here and control everything, and I still have the effects that I can run on that auxiliary channel as well too. So then we got to number 6. The pads. You know what? I like having the pads down here because I come from the controller days and never really understood the idea of having hot cues above the CDJ-3000s. Didn't think they were useful. And they can only do hot cues. They couldn't do anything else. I've got hot cues, beat jump, slip loop, beat loop, slip loop, and beat jump. And of course, when you run this with Rekordbox software, if you want to run it with a computer, then you got all your instant gratification pad effects as well too. So that's really nice. Probably losing count here because, you know, I don't write anything down. The other big one, of course, too, I don't need to have CDJs. You know what I mean? For the price of what I paid for this whole system is less money than I would pay for a 900 Nexus 2. And I got CDJs built right in. Now, not CDJs because I don't have CD players, but considering I was coming from CDJ-3000s, I don't feel like I missed that much. You know what I mean? There was a couple little features such as the touch cue to be able to preview a track ahead while you're playing it and stuff. And it's like, you know your music. I don't really need to listen ahead of a song because I know what I'm playing. I can read a waveform. It was just a gimmick that wasn't exactly super useful. Now, one thing I will say right off the bat that's kind of a little bit weird is when you run, let me just load a track here. So your effects, right? You want to know, where you are with your effects and stuff. It's up on the screen. That's a little getting used to. It would have been nice how they incorporate the same screen right in here, but you know, I guess for the money they had to do something, right? And of course, people have complained that, you know, how they go 4, 2, 1. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, this a little muscle memory, a little getting used to, and you got to remember to look up at the screen to see where you are. That's all. Not a big deal. Overall, though, the build quality, the faders and stuff, this is built quite well. It's not built like a 900 Nexus 2. So don't think this is the unit you're going to rent out to all your friends and drag through the desert and everything else. It's not going to hold up like a 900 Nexus 2. But if you're a mobile DJ, you treat your gear good, it's not like it's a huge difference. They feel smooth. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much. The crossfader feels nice. I really have no complaints about it. Like I said, build quality is not exact. You don't have the beat effect lights that are above. That would have been a nice feature as well too, to know what channel you're on at an instant glance rather than having to look up there. Just a little thing. But you know, jog wheels feel amazing. You got your screens in the middle. You got your jog adjust. It feels exactly like running on CDJs. The workflow is perfect. You know, it's everything you expect from the Pioneer system without having to spend a pile of money. So that's the truth. You can go buy a 900 Nexus 2 and go buy, even if you say you buy a 900 Nexus 2 and you get a deal on a pair of CDJ-2000 Nexus 2s, right? Now you got 3 things to carry versus 1. Now, if something breaks down, you know, one CDJ breaks down on a separate system, you're still okay because you can manage on one, because there's some tricks using the loop rules and stuff to get you by. But other than that, I still think this is a far better bang for the money, especially for studio home use. You're a mobile DJ, you're doing bar gigs and stuff. This is the way to go. By all means, works amazing with Serato, works amazing with Rekordbox if you don't want to use it in standalone. But personally, I think standalone is the best way you can. Of course, also, and you can see from the channels up there, you do have phono inputs. So I do have 1200s hooked up to this thing as well too. A lot of people complain like, hey, why doesn't it do dual deck and run extra things? I don't want to run dual deck. You know what I mean? Because if I want to have 4 more units, guess what? Or 4 units in total, I just hook up external players. Some people put CDJ-3000s, which I don't think is a thing to do because there is no digital input on these channels. So it's kind of a little bit of a waste. You're not getting everything that you'd want. It will link up, you know, it's got the Ethernet cable, so it will link all your players together. If you do CDJ-3000s, I would say if you want to keep in the Pioneer thing, get yourself some 2000 Nexus 2s and find a deal. Or, like I've done, I've gone to SC6000s by Den DJ. They don't link together, like with the system here, but that's fine because now I have the ability to play things off all the streaming services such as Tidal and Beatport Link and BeatSource off my Denon players. So yeah, that's the reasons why. Probably lost count somewhere along the line. Maybe there's a few more, a few less, I don't know. Have any questions about any of this, feel free to leave me a message in the comments, and I will talk to y'all later. Have a great day.